Hi everyone, my name is Reed Gibson and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is a channel I'm creating to be able to talk about two of my favorite subjects. The first one is debt-free living and the second one is the city of Des Moines. This being the first episode, I wanted to take some time to tell you the story of how I got here today. You know, really the story starts 3 years ago when my wife Samantha and I got married. Financially speaking, going into our marriage, I had some student loan debt from a college I never graduated from, as well as some credit card debt. And Samantha had 2 credit cards that she paid the balance on every month, so she didn't carry a balance on them. But then once we got married, we started financing our new lives together. We financed a bed, we financed some pots and pans for our kitchen, we took out a car loan, and it got to the point where we had enough debt obligation that we were no longer able to pay Samantha's credit card off every month. And so we started carrying a balance on those. Within a year of marriage, we looked up and we were $30,000 in debt and we were headed the wrong direction. The debt was putting so much strain on our marriage that our marriage actually almost ended after that first year. Now, we knew we had to make a change, and so I remembered my parents took a class when I was in high school from a guy named Dave Ramsey. If you're unfamiliar with Dave's principles, he has a philosophy about debt-free living. He doesn't believe in good debt or bad debt. I mean, it's all bad debt. He often quotes Proverbs 22:7 that says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." And it's on that foundation that he developed 7 baby steps towards financial peace. So we went out, we bought his book, The Total Money Makeover, which is his step-by-step guide through the baby steps. And so we started down the journey. Within the first 2 months, we've completed baby step 1, which was to save $1,000 starter emergency fund. And what's interesting is that in a little over 2 years of being on this plan, we've actually never had to touch our emergency fund. We've always been able to just cash flow our way through anything that has popped up. But after we finished baby step 1, we started baby step 2, which is the debt snowball. This is where you eliminate debt from your life. What the debt snowball is you list your debts from smallest to largest based on the balance of the debt. You pay the minimum payment on all of the debts except for the smallest one. You squeeze every penny out of your budget and you attack the smallest balance debt you have and you get it out of your life. And we did that the very first month. We were able to pay off a debt. What happens is you get so excited and motivated by paying off that debt that you just continue to attack. And then you take the money that you were paying on that smallest debt and you roll that into the next smallest debt. And it just keeps building and you go faster and faster all the way down the snowball. I remember we were actually able to pay off 6 small debts in the first 3 months that we were in baby step 2, and it just got us so hungry and so intense. We actually got to the point where we were paying over 40% of our take-home pay towards debt to just get it out of our lives. And I'm really happy to say that in August of 2016, we were able to make our final car payment, and we were able to eliminate debt from our lives, and it was just the most liberating feeling. It really did feel like there was 30,000 pounds just lifted off our shoulders and taken out of our marriage, and it's really made all the difference. So after we paid off the debt, we were able to beef up our emergency fund, which is what baby step 3 is. You have to be able to cover 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, just in case something were to happen to Samantha or I. The other person would have an emergency fund to still be able to pay the bills and be able to put food on the table. You know, after baby step 3 is over, that's where life really starts to be able to happen, and you start to see financial freedom be able to be accomplished, because that's where you start saving for your future and paying for your kids' college and being able to live. And that's really where the next character of our story comes into play, and that's the city of Des Moines. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with Des Moines, Des Moines is the fastest growing metro in the Midwest. And this week, U.S. News named Des Moines the #1 most affordable city in the country. And what that really means is that in Des Moines, your hard-earned money goes farther than anywhere in the United States. So think about that for just a second. You have no debt and you live in the most affordable city in the country. I mean, that is a huge recipe for success. And I'm really excited that that's the road that Samantha and I are on. I was thinking about this. A couple weeks ago, Des Moines hosted the biggest event in women's professional golf. It's the Solheim Cup. And Samantha and I had the ability to take a week off work, and we actually took a vacation in our home city here in Des Moines, and we were able to experience the entire week of golf. And as I was sitting there watching the best women golfers in the world, I kept thinking about how fortunate we truly are. And I wanted to be able to find a way to share our story with people. I subscribe to Dave Ramsey's YouTube channel. And in addition to his radio show, they have videos of people doing their debt-free scream, where they go to his show and they yell, "I'm debt-free," in triumph over their debt as they get creditors out of their life for good. And they also have videos where they highlight everyday millionaires who have been successful for 20 to 30, 40 years, and they've reached the millionaire status. And he talks to them about how they've done it and the things that they've been able to do because they've reached that level of financial peace. But what I felt like was missing was the gap in between. Everyday people just living their best life without the stress that debt puts on their life. And so I wanted to be able to create a way to show people what your life can be like when you don't have that obligation to a creditor with your money. Whether it's concerts or shows, being able to go to restaurants, spending time with friends and family, traveling. That's what I want to be able to talk about on this show, and that's what we're going to show you. So what can you expect from this channel? As far as debt-free living goes, I want to show you a little bit about how Samantha and I budget, as well as how we make decisions on what we're going to spend our money on, and ways that we maximize the dollars that we do decide to spend. And what goes hand in hand with maximizing those dollars is, like I said, the city of Des Moines. I want to be able to highlight the city itself, its beauty, its culture, whether it's a new restaurant that's opening up that maybe I'll give a review to, or just showing you the things that Samantha and I love doing in and around the city. So I want you to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to stay up to date on what's going on with Samantha and I's lives. I also invite you to follow me on Twitter or Instagram. You can follow me at Reed_GibsonDSM. And I want to invite you back next week where I'm gonna introduce you to someone who's very, very important to Samantha and I. So I hope to see you back next week. God bless.